Can you imagine that in 2026, the world's only superpower, America, will lose to a country that it has been banning for the past 40 years? This is not me, but Professor Sine, whose two predictions about Trump have come true, now waiting for the third. The United States will lose this war, which will forever change the global order. This is not an ordinary conspiracy theory, but Professor Sine's scary prediction, which is now becoming a reality. If this is proven true, then in the next 6 months, the money in your bank account will be left as a scrap of paper, and the world's order can change forever. In this video, we will expose the secret script that the mainstream media is hiding from you. We will see how Iran's $50,000 cheap drones are burying America's $1 trillion pride in the ground. And most importantly, is Donald Trump just pushing the world towards destruction for emergency war powers, or his own extension, which goes straight from the agenda of secret societies and end times? In the next few minutes, you will see that aspect of truth that the world may not even know about. Welcome to Money Basics videos again. Viewers, Professor Sine's first prediction was that Donald Trump would win the election again, which proved to be absolutely true. The second prediction was that as soon as Trump came to power, a terrible war would begin between America and Iran, and it did. But his third prediction, which blew everyone's minds, was that the world's largest superpower, i.e. America, would lose badly in this war. And this is not just a prediction, there are many logical arguments behind it. In today's video, we will do a full post-mortem of this third and most dangerous prediction, and understand how a military superpower can lose to Iran. Professor Sine, who is a great expert in game theory and geopolitical events, has made it absolutely clear in his new interview that America cannot win this war in any case. Let's get straight to the point and understand where Iran is standing right now. If we look at Professor Sine's deep analysis, we find that Iran has been preparing for this war for 20 years, not the last 1-2 years. It is seen as the last war in their Islamic regime in which they consider America to be a big devil. Iran gained a lot of experience from the war that took place in June last year. At that time, they not only attacked, but also studied the strengths of both America and Israel, the weaknesses of their defense systems, and the ways to attack them very deeply. They had 8 months to prepare for this new attack, and in the meantime, they were in dialogue with America and buying time. The biggest thing is that Iran is using its proxies better than fighting directly. These proxies include Yemen's Houthis, Lebanon's Hezbollah, Palestine's Hamas, and Iraq and Syria's different Shia militants. All of these have read America's mentality and way of fighting very well. Now their strategy is not just to kill American soldiers, but their master strategy is to destroy the entire American empire and global economy. These people are targeting those countries that are the real power of America's economy, i.e. GCC countries, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain. You can guess how dangerous and well-planned Iran's strategy is by the fact that they are not only dropping missiles on military bases, but also targeting the critical energy infrastructure and water systems of these Arab countries. There is no natural resource for drinking water in these countries of the Middle East. They use the salty water of the sea through desalination plants. More than 60% of these countries' water comes from these desalination plants. Professor Sine gave a very scary example and explained that a small Iranian drone, which costs $50,000, if it falls on a main water desalination plant in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and destroys it, then within 2 weeks, the drinking water in that 10 million capacity city will be depleted. Just imagine that in 2 weeks, an entire city will die of thirst. Along with this, Iran has started blocking important sea routes, such as the Strait of Hormuz, from where 90% of these Arab countries' food and grains come. Generally, people think that this will only cause a little bit of inflation or the global economy will be disturbed. But in reality, Iran is threatening to destroy the existence of countries such as Saudi Arabia and the UAE. And here it's also important for you to know that these Arab countries also work as a backbone for the American economy. The real reason for this is the system of petrodollars. These Arab countries sell their oil to the world in dollars, which keeps the demand for dollars always high. Then these same countries reinvest these dollars in the U.S. stock market and real estate. Today, America's entire economy and stock market is based on artificial intelligence. The most heavy investment in these AI data centers is of these Gulf states and Arab countries. If these Gulf states are unable to sell their oil because of this war, then their economy will be destroyed, and then they will stop investing more in America's AI system. The day this Arab investment stops, America's fake AI bubble will burst completely. And with it, the entire American economy will fall to the ground, which Professor Sine has named a financial Ponzi scheme in his own language. Now, the question arises that why the world's most advanced and powerful American army is not able to compete with these cheap drones. The real reason for this is that the entire structure and mindset of the American military is made up of World War II and Cold War. In the Cold War, the real competition was about muscle flexing, that who has the most expensive and complex technology, who goes to the moon first, and who has the biggest missiles. America's entire air defense system is based on such expensive and complex technology, which costs billions of dollars to build and operate. Contrary to this, today's 21st century war has completely changed. This is the era of asymmetric warfare, where a very cheap weapon can destroy a very expensive system. A recent video from Israel has surprised defense experts all over the world, where Iran's ordinary ballistic missile was coming towards the ground, and to stop it in the air, America and Israel fired 11 different interceptor missiles, but still they couldn't stop it. On the other hand, Iranian Shahed drones are made entirely in Iran and Russia. That is, they do not have to depend on any other country on their supply line. Shahed 136 drone, also known as Giron-2, has proved to be a game-changer in modern warfare due to its simplicity and low cost. These drones have a two-stroke piston engine, which can cover a distance of 2,000 kilometers at a speed of 185 kilometers per hour in just 100 liters of fuel. The Joint Chief of Staff has told CNN that Iranian drones are creating a bigger problem than expected, and it is more difficult to stop them than ballistic missiles.
On the one hand, Iran's cheap drone or missile is worth a few $1,000s. On the other hand, the price of an interceptor missile operated by the United States is several $million. When you operate a $2 million missile to kill a $50,000 drone, you cannot afford this war for a long time. Now, America's stock of these expensive missiles is dwindling rapidly, and they are also having to use their military reserves in Asia, which they had saved from China's fear. This is actually a sign of America's arrogance, which has established its rule over the world for 20 years. If this continues, not only will the petrodollar be destroyed, but the world will quickly move towards a multipolar world where America's influence on the world will be buried. Apart from all this, America and Israel have only been attacking from the air so far. But history has shown that no country in the world has been able to change the government of any other country by air attacks. For regime change, you have to remove the ground troops at all costs. According to the statements of America's top officials and Secretary of War, America has no intention of sending its ground troops to Iran at any cost. In the coming months, there will be a lot of pressure from Arab countries and Israel on America to send a ground force and wipe out Iran's threat forever. Because if anything happens to these countries, America's petrodollar will also sink with them. So now the question arises, why did American President Donald Trump jump into such a war that the top military command had already warned about? According to Professor Sine, there are three major reasons behind this stupid decision that forced Trump. The first reason is overconfidence. Recently, Trump did a small, successful operation in Venezuela, which made him overconfident about the American military capacity. Just like Hitler easily conquered Europe, he came to pride and attacked the Soviet Union, which ultimately led to the destruction of his army. The second reason is political benefit. Although America has no benefit from this war, but personally Trump is getting both political and financial benefits. Saudi Arabia and Israel are indirectly lobbying for this war. Remember that Saudi has made a massive investment of $2 billion in Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner's private equity fund. On the other hand, Israel's major financial backers, such as Miriam Adelson, are funding Trump's political career. Although, according to the U.S. Constitution, the president cannot come for the third time, but Miriam has openly said that if Trump fights for the election for the third time, she will give him $250 million. It is also possible that under the guise of war, Donald Trump will extend his tenure as a wartime president. The third reason, the professor has openly said that if you study the old leaks and Epstein files of the world, you will understand that the system of this world is actually run by some secret societies. The most famous group among them is Illuminati, which is divided into three more parts. On one hand, there are Jesuits who control the Vatican. On the other hand, there are Sebastian Franks who have a hold on the power structure of modern Israel. And on the third hand, there are Freemasons who control the entire national security and military apparatus of America. These secret and powerful groups have a strong belief that there will be a great war in the Middle East in the end times. And according to them, it is necessary for Israel to be involved in this so that their heaven on earth can be established on earth. This is an already written spiritual script that these people are following anyway, whether there is any logic in this action or not. And even if the entire world's economy is destroyed because of this, they are only interested in their last agenda. This was Professor Sian's third prediction, which is now visible on the path of truth after the first two. The essence of all this is that America is fighting a war that if it is won by luck, then it will be a great defeat for America. Just as it happened in Iraq, Libya, Syria, and Afghanistan, attacking Iran will be like stabbing your own foot. What is your opinion about this? Do let me know in the comments.
I hope you will like and share this video of Money Basics video. See you in the next great video.